Hello everybody, welcome back to Disco Elysium. As you may have seen in the previous one, I kind of got to this point and then jumped off and ended up dying. Um, I did not know that I needed to save and it didn't auto-save. So I just went through the whole first part of the game as fast as I could, trying to get everything exactly the same. Did I succeed? Probably not.
When the wind ruffles the cloak, you can most definitely see
So,
a white rectangle
like,
on its back.
comment, subscribe. Subscribe to the channel whenever Sniderium on YouTube, and with that, let's go.
Yes, you could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day.
The wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks at
Okay.
the enormous... That machine is...
So-
Is it? But I digress. We were focusing on your cloak. What are we doing? Or it could be that we had just What are we doing? Or it could be that we had just the cloak? Well, it doesn't seem too dangerous. 2 meter stops. Whenever you're ready to do it, I'll be right.
The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in the wind. Who knows what its pockets may hide?
Okay, I'm nowhere near able to get to that. So, I know there's no way for me to... I'm not going back that way. Okay, so... Forgot to look at that.
Be still, my beating heart. It's amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you. There's a good vague way to ask where he stands on drug use. Professionally, I mean.
Someone is taking narcotics here. Perhaps the pollution
Perhaps
and...
not. This is below our pay grade, detective. However, but that there was an interesting find. An alternative path into the harbor that the kid uses. Well done.
So... Okay.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here. Maybe more than 12. No, 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. 1. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 46.
Okay.
2. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 44.
Okay. So...
3. Hobnailed work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 43.
2 standard, a hobnailed...
4. Standard work boot, number 45 or 46. You don't know. It's a miracle you can tell the prints apart as it is. 5. Another standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 44. 6. An aberration, light as air, even pace, same make of boot, but number 41.
Male or female?
Impossible to tell. Could also have been an adolescent. The gait is undeveloped. You're not bad. It's as if the whole world is darkness. Everything else has a thin film of unimportance on it, and the tracks burn in the middle of it, in a strange, beautiful way. 7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot, number 46. But the imprints are twice as deep as the others. The weight exceeds 200 kilograms.
200 kilograms. That's... is...
Eight, and yet another standard work boot, number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole, however. The right sole is smoother, more worn.
How many? I was pretty off then. I counted 20. I never
Some
got
guys
the
are going back and forth.
Hyperopia. Do you see anything out of the ordinary?
Okay.
A woman or a kid? Understood. Anything else? 200? Could it be the combined weight of two people, one carrying the other who's tied up? Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built, soon-to-be-dead man.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
Possibly, yes.
But
Okay.
why?
Why
Yes,
did they have to carry
They
him?
could have used a makeshift stretcher or just march him up to the gallows.
Maybe the victim refused to walk on his own lynching. Maybe the victim wasn't conscious. Reading of these prints could be wrong. I don't believe that. Maybe, based off of how I'm going about this, there's no way. A reading of these prints could be wrong. No. Maybe the victim wasn't conscious. Maybe. Maybe the victim refused to walk to his own lynching, but that would also tie into... I'm going to go with the unconscious.
Even easier to carry on a stretcher or between two men. Anyway, it's for future consideration. What else can you see?
One's a little smoother than the other.
Interesting. Let's name it the old soul. Someone operating a workbench with a pedal, like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer?
Well, if people were looking for the drummer.
No, it's not. Forget I said it. We are not looking for it. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out the right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right.
Not thoughtfully. That sounds like
We
me.
should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no? A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller, who reported the hanging.
That makes
It is
sense.
not impossible.
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last warm day.
Okay, so we have 7 people in work boots, some of them reinforced, one of them 200 kilograms, potentially carrying the body, and one set that is lighter than the rest, potentially child, but there's children all... There's 2 kids here already, so I don't know if I should be paying attention to that or
Correct
not.
again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago.
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree.
Fair.
Then, after hoisting him up, They stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching.
Fair.
Indeed, they all stood in a row here and looked at the tree. Yes, everything fits so well. Carried him over, hoisted him up, watched him hang. This is easy. The
Yeah,
lieutenant's
from-
eyes narrow. He's
Either way. What else?
Okay. Ron Coral, this postcard depicts an ill-advised residential area overlooking the Jamrock quarters. 13-story buildings line the hillside, and an ominous fog already rising from behind. These are the last room years. In 1939, I'm assuming, the project fails catastrophically, leaving behind opiate and hepatitis B. And with the green ape on the ape has closed its eyes, kind of expression adorning his face. It seems to be meditating. Alright. What we got here? Okay. Alright, so I gotta... Okay. So. I'm over here.
there, he still is, looking right through you.
I need to figure out how to... Okay. What else could
Vito, a closer inspection reveals 2 bullet holes in the front. A faint sticker on the side reads, RCM Emergencies Desk number 8102, with a slogan, Mankind, be vigilant.
Huh. Wait.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with it. The box seems happy. Eat shit, pig, fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also. The mail collection box seems cathartic, thankful even. So do you. You shudder, then you swallow.
Alright, cool, I guess. I don't know exactly what else I'm looking for.
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with?
Not
We don't
surprised.
see a lot of police around here, that's all.
Okay.
Of course. What can I help you with? Me? I am just a gardener.
Just a
She
gardener, you
hides it
say?
well, but behind the sweat and dirt there is something else in her rigid posture.
Is there?
The quickness of the reply certainly does not prove you wrong.
I am pleased to meet you too, officer. Of course. Where to?
Oh gosh.
What do you mean? Yes, sir. District of Martinez.
Roundabout
He knows
north.
where we are. He just wants directions.
There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment buildings, some more tenements. Not a lot, really. The harbor gates, some kind of commotion, I think. I don't follow the local politics. A fleet store, too. Some shops and a bridge. The canal bridge leads to the coast, but it's broken, I think. Just coast. There's a little fishing village there, and a fish market, but that got closed down ages ago. It's just water. No, actually, I think they call it the Martinez Inlet. There are some islands in the bay, but they're hard to reach. No
Okay.
problem.
She's very well composed, back straight.
Of course. I won't hold you back.
If there's a corpse, then you're going to need those gloves for the autopsy.
Sure, keep them. I have another pair.
Okay, so I have the gloves. What else can I go find? I guess there's this other person over here I can talk to real quick.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
I am the law. Hello.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
Stomps your feet to feel warmer. What kind of store is this anyways? Is it okay if I ask you some questions?
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock.
Window suddenly jolts her eyes wide as if recalling
Feel
something.
free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
Brutally dismantling the free market. Jeez. Should I have a word with the
Oh,
store
no,
manager?
no, sir. I'm happy to help Mum by luring in customers. Besides, I have some hot juice in my vacuum bottle to keep warm.
School or something.
I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running. Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed.
Fair.
There is stress and unease behind these words. She's reciting etiquette.
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed. Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go... Exactly. But we've been doing fine so far.
We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case. But I don't see much more to look in.
Yes. Please do also look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games are there, sir. Nothing really, sir. Mum does...
It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better when we were talking about whether it's appropriate to stand out in the freezing weather.
Anything else you... Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead.
I was hoping to get to one, but I'm seeing this is gonna take a while. Okay, so.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hyamdal somewhere. Rows and rows of Hyamdala men blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Hyamdal and the Mammoth Riders. Man from Hyamdal, Return to Hyamdal. And the solipsistic Man from Hyamdal and the Hyamdal
Good
Man.
God, how many are there?
Maybe 100. Man from Hyamdal and the sages
No,
the
I'm
display
good.
rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Hyamdal novels.
Pain threshold. No, I don't. No, I don't need this.
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen. A couple of spook novels hide amidst all the detective books. Thrilling tales of spycraft and daring do. Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme, Ozon, Laurentide, Fas à la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white, disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou, in a bookstore. It's you.
The northeast of dust mite stands on the north coast of Callao. In a bookstore, it's you.
You can, on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star, on Ozon, Fondelier, and Vimandu, on Archipelagos, Croyan Moran, Villiers, on Seminine, Olduvai, and on Laurentide, Deora of the Seven Seas. 850 million people live on these little dots, an oceanic world of culture and commerce torn apart by history. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seo is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called. Connections to other worlds, words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you, and very, very far away.
Okay.
Perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and outer dust.
Don't know how much I need to
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature.
The boring book just discarded here.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell.
Not at the moment. Interesting. Okay. Alright. Let's have an actual conversation.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance.
Wow, that name is really on point. Okay.
Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
I can't ask for
am
money.
The proudest owner of our little shop of culture. Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl? Wonderful! Did you talk to her? Great! On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her? My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette.
The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense. Every now and then, she nudges her glasses.
Okay.
Curse?
Mention the
Who said
curse.
that? Annette? I will have a word with her. This place is not cursed. It has a robustly magnetic energy. Good for commercial activity. My business is thriving, sir.
What in God's name is she talking about?
Yes. Oh gosh. Yeah, I was thinking that there. Okay. What if I want to buy a book?
Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled? Go, go. Get back there.
She smiles and nods, seeming.
What if I want to go here?
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only. Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are...
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you.
What the heck? Okay. Why?
This is a traditional Seminese ward, meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses, and other supernatural scourges.
And who are the Seminese?
Inhabitants of Ile-de-Fantôme, the Seminine Islands down south.
Okay.
Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you.
I'm gonna pull open the curtains.
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
What?
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers.
What
The
the?
curtains do seem frail suddenly, not robust enough to contain a slippery darkness.
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please step away from the curtains. No!
Talking is always good. Go see what she has to say. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to... I already told you, it's just a storage room for employees. I don't understand why it's so important to you. Just let it go, officer. Go buy some goddamn books. You're supposed to be drawn
None
to the books.
she recites it like it's a poem, or like she's playing a role she's grown tired of. She's
Okay.
so tense, it's a miracle she hasn't snapped in half yet.
Why does it have a Siamese
Just for
ward?
decoration. Okay, fine. It's because this place is cursed. Just like Annette said, they don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything?
Host of hosts, she prays. Guard me and my honest business venture from the curse that lurks behind the curtains.
Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists and even a pair of Simonese mediators. They provided me with the wards.
But
The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building. Even though now I fear it's not enough.
why not just okay? How does the?
It's not good to talk about the curse.
That's
not
not
in
what I meant.
detail.
Wow. Void raves. You have new words.
How does the curse
The
manifest itself?
curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation.
To the woman as she looks around.
It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy. It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here. It's the cacodemons feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie, lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here. Most certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic arts to get involved in this mess. Stay away. Leave the spirits be, so they can return to their slumber.
My liege, you know what this case calls for? A para-detective. Slither up to her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her what world-class perfidy looks like. You're not lying. You're giving her peace of mind.
Are you sure? Don't think I haven't seen charlatans before.
I returned from the void, a paradetective from a long line of paradetectives.
You're no paradetective. You look nothing like one. And you're clearly a drinker. Pardon me for being so blunt, but...
You look like one. The lieutenant keeps his usual stony calm. He silently picks out his notebook.
How do you know all this?
Here we go.
Your words brought me here in the first place. The Semini's blood also runs through me. I am the Void Remnant. I have powers to debad all the bad energies. To debad. Oh god, what am I doing in here? This relates to nothing. I need money. Is this what I'm here for? Is this for me to get money to go pay the hotel?
You're part Simonese. Oh, it means our meeting couldn't have been mere chance. The hand of fate guides us.
Yes.
But I am not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help us? Keep us safe?
No.
I can't allow any collateral damage to hit us.
That's fine. No, I'm not asking
If you
Kim.
promise, good officer, then you might be our last hope. Do you swear it? Thank you, sir. There's one more thing.
Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sire.
You have? The entity takes the form of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you know that she lives inside the chimney? Yes, that chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. God knows what she's doing there.
Hey, you.
Some
Doing
unnatural
stuff.
magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. What is the source of this curse? Here's the key to the warded door behind the curtains. Take it. Oh,
Thank you.
and please do return to me after you've looked round. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse. What you discover in there.
What you discover? Probably just some office space. Don't be scared.
Okay, well, I still have 3 hours, so
You
figure
see
out.
a set of tattered curtains.
I don't care.
You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little Seminese wards, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
Oh!
Okay. Well, interesting. Vaguely a picture of a man. You look at that unmanly threatens your masculinity. Ghostly silhouettes of hairdressers. Is there anything else? This door.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked.
Why would I break down the door?
Only an echo. No,
No one
a
is there.
hollowed-out, dark echo.
Ugh.
After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door slides slightly open, letting a draft of cold air into the room.
Door and enter. Well, let's see here. Oh, got this. Bag is dripping. Sand is dripping from the punching bag. Okay. Sit for this. The rest is worn off.
A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore.
Hmm. Interesting.
What is this place?
The road beyond the veil. Looks like a gym to me.
Yes, but no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. We should find a flashlight if we want to go on. There should be one in my kinema.
Some specks of dust shimmer in a faint beam of daylight falling from the window. An eerie feeling rises in your chest. The lieutenant nods.
Okay. Run, 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 run. Should report my badge to Alma.
Washes over you. The frequency tableau lights up, and the green button labeled Prime Line glows like a feline eye. And then you hear something. The soft purr of electrical kittens, radio waves cast far and wide over the metropolis. A woman's voice greets you through the static.
Okay.
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I assist you?
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st precinct here. I'm putting him on.
Thanks, Kim.
Operating the radio is easy. Just be confident. You've probably done it 1,000 times.
Nice to meet you.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Under the green Prime Line, a yellow saved button catches your eye. You wonder what the lieutenant's default
Saved
radio station is.
Just a second, officer.
10-2, 10-5. This is 41st. Come in. Over.
The man uses relay code. You got this. You're a cop, and cops know relay code.
10-4, message received. 10-5, relay message. What's your status? Over. 10-18, state your message, sir. 10-9, over. 10-4, message received. This is a very serious situation. I need to 10-22 the captain. Over.
Is it him? What does he want?
Says he lost his badge and needs to report it.
He what? He lost his badge?
This is Communication Officer Jules Pidieux, sir. You mean your partner?
What is he saying?
He's asking who you are.
I'm his goddamn...
It's your partner, Satellite Officer Vitmar, sir.
Did he lose his memory along with his fucking badge?
Who lost his badge?
Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Dick Mullen is not your
Name
name.
of the fictional
it's the
detective.
name of a fictional detective who would not lose his badge.
Okay, I got that much.
Defend
Thank you.
yourself. Immediately, they're laughing at
think I'm the first
He
class.
says this has probably happened to other policemen before him and laughs sarcastically.
Oh god damn it. Is he fucking kidding? The whole station's gonna be dicked for this.
Cool.
Satellite Officer Vikmar is wondering if you might be joking and adds that this
I should have stayed
the
silent.
reputation of the entire station. Over.
Mullen dicked us.
10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge. Over.
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got to hear this. Dick Mullen lost his badge.
What's going on?
Oh my god.
Look up here, lost.
He lost his what now?
His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
New heights even for Captain Sober.
Ask him. Ask him if he's lost his gun, too.
Sergeant Orson wants to know if you lost your...
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where it is, do you? Okay, it's gone. Your gun...
10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over.
Even before you can get the words out, everything gets scrambled in your brain.
He says he didn't lose his gun. Or he's...
Ask him to describe it.
Satellite Officer McLean requests a description of your weapon. Over.
Oh my god.
He said...
Dear God, he lost his gun? Oh my, I can't.
This isn't really a laughing matter.
Mac can face a giant of Coco Nur by himself.
Oh my god. These people are... You know what?
I can't. Fuck. He lost his... Ask him.
I'm not going to.
Ask him.
Sergeant Orson here is wondering if you are still in possession of your genitalia. Over.
Yeah, this is where we're going.
That's a negative. Not going to say that.
What's he saying?
He said he sodomized.
The prick ate Mama's vanilla waffles at the captain's birthday party. Some nerve he's got.
Sure her vanilla waffles were the only thing he ate?
Shut up, Chester. This isn't funny. This is my... Tell him to apologize.
Sergeant Orson requests that you apologize for the claims that you made about his...
Oh my god.
Over.
I should have just stayed quiet. I should have just stayed quiet. Oh.
Mac, he says you shouldn't have antagonized the firewalker in the first...
Who?
Disbelievable.
Satellite Officer V. I'm afraid he might be referring to himself as Firewater, sir.
Firewater? He's lost it. Fuck it. Tell him to find his goddamn badge and gun. That's the only thing that matters.
Satellite Officer V. 10-4, affirmative.
Oh, God,
Officer, do you need further assistance? Over. 10-4, I hear you. I don't have the...
What does he want now?
He's asking for money.
Is he fucking kidding?
I don't think he is.
Don't give that asshole anything. He's just gonna drink it all.
Alright, that's a negative on the additional funds, sir. Over. He says it's important.
He isn't getting a red cent. You can tell him.
Request denied, sir. Over. He says he's...
Well, I guess he'd better crack the case before...
Vigmar said... Anything else, sir? Over. Roger that. 10-10. Over.
Okay, pick up the radio again.
57, how may I assist you?
Wanna talk to
Of course.
Sylvie.
What is the number, officer?
Yes,
Sylvie's number.
hold on. Her number is
It's just
005
05 1944 298.
Received.
Give it a minute. She might be busy at the moment. Takes a bit to get to the phone.
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for you. Yes. Hello?
Awesome. Alright, hello, this is police calling. I have questions for you about your last days at work. I believe we met. I believe we met before. This is me, a detective from the Whirling Bridge, right?
Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you?
Oh, perfect. Was it you who called the police? Do you know who put the victim's clothes in the trash? Have you seen my badge? Have you seen my gun? Do you know where my paperwork ended up in the trash? I think everything. Okay.
You mean, why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not...
Okay.
Why not?
Logic. Why not? Wait. Why aren't you comfortable? Okay. Did you...
What? No, why would you even think that? Please, don't bring Gar into this. It's none of your business.
Okay.
Why can't you just mind your own?
I already said I don't want to talk about this. You're messing everything up again. No, not me.
Do you know who made that call?
I don't. Not a lot of people have phones around here. Copper thieves take the wires. People don't have the money to have the cables put in again. They use the Union's phone, or the one on the coast.
So the Union has a phone, and there's one further down the coast. Got it.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the Union already knew about the corpse.
Okay. What does
No
this...
one calls the police. The Union would get angry. You know, what the Union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here. Mm-hmm. I don't know what to tell you, officer. I didn't call you because I didn't want to get in trouble with the others. With the Union. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, go on. No, I don't know. It wasn't me. I haven't been out there since. I was terrified of the stench and the corpse.
Okay, that's fair. But... you should have called, but I get that. Okay,
Yes,
have you
I
seen...
know who you are. You're a police officer. The law.
This exact conversation has happened before. Establishing authority before this young girl seems to have been important to you in the past. Don't go there again.
Oh, no, I haven't, sorry.
Okay.
Your policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours? He's in plain clothes, voluntarily. It's different from not knowing where your uniform is.
Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun detective.
Okay.
You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating and... you were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes. It got pretty graphic.
Oh, those again. I have been trying to wean you off them. You know, when you put your gun, your actual gun, on your temple and pretend to shoot your brains out, off of that, people don't like that. I remember this. You were screaming things like, "My brains are all over the wall, painting them red. I won't be seeing it, 'cause these are my brains. I can't see without my brains." Very nice visuals there.
No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like big bucks cannot lie and guns can't buy money, but money can always buy guns. It almost looked like you pawned it. But believe me, I did not ask.
Okay.
Uniform? I never saw you in any uniform. You had your things on. The disco things. Well, you tried to jam it down the toilet, sir, clogging it completely. After I had unclogged the toilet and retrieved the paperwork, I threw it out in the trash, thinking you didn't need it.
Okay.
I am sorry about that. Anything else, Detective? I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
No, she doesn't have a problem with you. It must be someone else she's angry about. Some other guy. Like, trust me, you wouldn't want to be the guy here. You know how it is. Yeah, no. You're the guy. You're Lieutenant Love, matchmaker extraordinaire. Help the poor girl out, lest she turns into a spinster. What misogyny? I'm just telling things the way they are. Can't a man
Oh
be
my
honest in
God.
his own head anymore? You have to act, Lieutenant Love.
Okay.
Think you can do that, Lieutenant Love? You're a skimp. What? You want to be more empathetic?
Yes.
Dominated by the other party. Anything else, officer?
Press a button labeled save. That's right in the call. I don't think I need.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft a metallic drawer slide.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long...
It's robust, weatherproof, lets you see things in the dark you would otherwise miss. The pull-out toolbox slides back into...
Okay, so can I? I'll take this out for now. Alright, let's go do this. Okay, I haven't gotten to you yet. Will I find the money I need? Stay tuned. Okay, so I labeled I got multiple things done. Okay, I need to... I need the flashlight. Okay, so... Black panel debris. This is horrifying. Demijohn full of strange liquid. Remind you of blades. Okay. Where are the clothes that used to... But where are the clothes that used to display?
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
What he means is that these things cost money. Why would anyone just leave it behind? This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5120, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible printer.
Do I turn the machine on?
We had one of these down at the station, but I never really learned how to use it.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open. Nothing happens. Something's missing. There's no tape in the player. It's empty, like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good morning. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? The filament you have inserted into the reader. That was a question. Have you inserted it into the core? Good. Please repeat the password.
Password? Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved.
No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder for stress accident.
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want to wait for a month.
Now, can you please repeat the password? I'm
afraid we are not...
Now, still no. Received. I will register this login attempt.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do? Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft... This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic.
How do I know that?
Classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarelle blue tiles looked beautiful in the sun. Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. They must have had massive airwidth. These things don't come cheap. Someone very important. A conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through the Game Master's frequency. Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station it looks like. A list of names under the stations suggests people across 6 Isolas would be playing. Muindi, Insulinda, Kotla, Grad, Samara, and even Ilmara. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. Exactly. This schedule, I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: Call in, Tune out, Wirral Untethered, and Heat Death of the Universe.
We're all untethered, I bet.
The full text reads, Heat Death of the Universe is the new black. Another note says, the biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the 30s. This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. It looks a bit like an academic calendar, only much more brutal. Minimi stands for a mini meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but failed. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, see the prod schedule filament for details. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins casting wax-based magic. Translucent welkins with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. You should adopt one of those welkins as your persona. No longer a mere man, but a welkin. One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however. It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-welkin races will be purged. The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with welkin, green welkin, dread welkin, and the high welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welkin creatures. Just look at those details.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world. A pinned postcard reads, the heat death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures you should have one of the welkins towering. It's the hull.
An inordinate amount of... Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game. Just look at those details.
Okay.
So much effort.
So, if I come back here, and just... Okay, hold on.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace? No, that's not it. I think...
Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory, crafted together like a puzzle box.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers. No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard. Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but... Yes, especially in here.
Okay.
Okay, let's keep moving.
Oh, what the...
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost, and the bear's eyes are glowing red. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy? The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal. A sharp slice of light shines out from its... A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun. The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge. You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge. I know. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
The fridge buzzes with energy. A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you. From a glossy
Looks nothing like the
paper
fridge.
still smells of vanilla and chocolate. A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you. The paper still...
Okay, well, that's still costing money. That's not good. It's a hidden doorway here. Well, I kind of want... Okay, first off... Right into the breaker box. Okay, well... I feel like I wasn't done over here. Okay.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs, the echo is so prominent, it's impossible to discern what the voices are saying or what's producing them.
What are you doing? Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
Something breaks loose in you. A might...
Hello?
hear a low rumble upstairs. The sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
After you, officer.
Alright. This is just ridiculous. Can I get through here? Heck yeah. Ceiling. Is there anything else here? Oh, right here.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away. Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way. It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future. Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
Okay, fair. Alright, so we go upstairs. Come on, let's go. How do I get upstairs? Oh, I didn't look at everything. +1 drama. I love that.
2 cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now. Something close to you dies with a soft...
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises somewhere. A machine hums along with the current. Happy.
Okay. This is the last thing. Oh, there's money right here. How do I get upstairs? Wait a second.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft... The speaker...
Good afternoon. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Good. Please proceed.
Don't worry. Passwords have...
Fortress accident. Thank you and goodbye.
Tiles on the cube are...
Hello, I'm Nia. Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Milius. So what kind of die are you looking for?
She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Ah, perfect.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is, yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking. I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need.
Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
Of course, I can see that. I just thought you were a police officer looking for dice. How else can I help you?
No falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need.
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Creative.
When she arrived here, there was no room anywhere else. She must have known the other businesses.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind.
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad. It's not about the haircut, it's about the confidence.
I guess it just wasn't the time. It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemiteps Boxing Club, a community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime. It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since. Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised. Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milius. Who would have guessed?
What's the snuff?
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own. It's
What
a
is it?
Sub Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it.
Nothing changes in her tone as she says that, as if it's just another piece of information to lay out for the world.
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-roses. This isn't our problem.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators. Oh boy, the fabled Revoshow ICT. You're in for a treat here. The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now
Indeed. What were the other ideas?
Alright, what
there
were the
was
other
really
ideas?
just one. And it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing. Oh, but they did. They did show up to work, and not alone. There were also acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the ice cream stand. And they already had the bear. The bear. Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants
Okay.
ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually, Ravishaw Ice City lost the price war to its rival, Glacé 5000. Glacé 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges. You did what? Ugh, of course they left it plugged in. Even in the taxidermist who made it said it was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. He called it megatherapy.
Sounds cool.
Oh, I totally... Anything else? Fortress Accident, the radio game studio. They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw 2 of them get...
That's understandable. Fantasies are serious things. The mind is the drawing board of history.
They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on. Well, I did hear them talking at times. They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic, and to show up to work on time. Still, not everyone is going to make it. That's the nature of the game.
The result is 1 on a 20-sided die.
Ouch.
Anything else? Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
Okay.
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true. Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energy spared her somehow? Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in racks? Some people say it's part of the building complex. And then there is me. I've been here.
Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
Malignant entity? What does that even mean? Some kind of sorceress? What about you, officer? Do you think I'm the malignant entity? Exactly. Truth is always, but I'm glad we got this sorted out. Anything else I can help you with today?
That's all she has to say on the subject. She's been thorough and truthful, as far as we can see.
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
The lieutenant looks at his notebook, then the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last night?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window. I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness.
It's light here, but dark in the yard at night.
It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone. Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard. During daytime, there are usually those kids, and lately I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike.
She's heard of the murder, but did not see it, sire.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
She nods.
Anything else, officer? I'm listening. They were made by a company called Slipstream. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is. Sure, it's illegal, but it's not exactly anything extraordinary.
They were just the props. Why maybe you could make a sword out of one. No, wait, forget it. It would take too long.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but yeah, the atelier and naturally. Really? You mean missed anything else? Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. How did I Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dyes. I've grown crafty over the... Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. I think I have just the right one for you. You're a police officer, right? Here, cap.
A beautiful woman tossing you a gift. Whatever you do, don't overthink it. You overthink it. Your hands can't agree what to do and the 2 dice drop to...
Down the drain, like your career. I apologize, officer. That comment was unnecessary. That one is made of bloodstone with a lapis lazuli inlay. The other one was the inverse. They were a set, you see, but now the set is broke. It's a shame. They might have brought you luck. You definitely need luck in Martin. Now, was there anything else?
Well, that's a lot of information.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. The speaker...
Oh, wait.
That's not bad.
Any other questions? Good. Please repeat the received.
Don't worry.
Fortress accident is here.
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all
There I work as now. Please, thank you.
Tiles on the cube are...
Alright, well, let's get out of here for now, and then...
Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here. Look, the skis and rotor blades both bear the same Slipstream logo. It seems likely that they stop reality.
Okay, that's the other business that failed. Okay.
You're alive and well. Do keep... Yes, yes.
Tell her how ghastly it was. You know it's what she wants to hear.
I knew it. Oh, such horrors that have been thrust upon us. But What else did you find? Did anything survive? No, of course not. A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep. I don't understand.
The narrative she's built herself, it does need tearing. She's squeezing on the pendant too tight. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire.
Oh, how horrid! Tell me, did you find a way to break the curse? Of course. I trust my Seminese wards and charms kept you safe while you perform the ancient rites. All that matters is that the energies are retreating. I can already feel the curse lifting. It will be a long time until we're fully free of it, of course. Thank you, officer. Truly, you've brought a better psycho-emanation to this humble bookstore, and that's no small achievement.
She so badly wants this to be over. She would have...
All right, then. All's well that ends well.
Alright. Wow. Well, thank you for watching on this extremely endearing journey. I'm actually having a lot of fun with this. It's just a lot of information dump when I'm not really in tune to the world yet, I guess. But I'm really enjoying this. It's definitely dark, creepy. It's a lot. And I still have a lot of... How many... I have 6? Do I actually have 6? I'm gonna level this up. And... play the actor lie and detect lies. Ooh. I'm leveling that up. Okay. Did I only have one? I had 2. Okay, cool. So, got the power of suggestion. Got some drama, which I do want to... I should level up logic whenever I get a chance. Okay. Alright. Well, thank you for watching. And please join me in the next one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me how you're enjoying this. I don't know if I'm doing okay in this or not. But yeah, thank you. Have a nice day. Peace.